2007 was the beginning of a new adventure because we changed car. We went with a C4 WRC. For me, this was the first time I was involved in the development of a car from scratch. I was the #1 team member, and so it was up to me to build up the car to its best potential with the engineers and the rest of the team. But it all rested on my shoulders a little. It was something new for me, and when Danielle and I went in the car for the first time, we said to each other that it was the end of the WRC titles for us, that we'd never manage it in that car. In terms of the handling, it was very different from the Xara. The Xara was more compact, more fast-paced. With the C4, we found ourselves positioned a lot further back in the car. The car seemed a lot heavier to drive, a lot less manageable. We had to work really hard to try to free it up and make it perform better. We never managed to turn it into a car like the Xara, but its long wheelbase, for example, gave it other advantages. The car wasn't very light, but it was very stable. The C4 was back when we'd just started to explore new technologies, ABS, anti-skid systems, lots of extras to help with performance. In the end, we realized that most of the work was in fact the driver. The driver makes all the difference. It's better to concentrate on the driving itself than these types of things. So Citroën returned to the WRC with the C4 in 2007. I rejoined the official team at that point. I'd missed 4 rallies because of my arm, and even at Monte Carlo I was still in a lot of pain with it. But we came in with a win, and this put everyone on the right track again. We started out in style, and it was another great season for us. I had 4 titles like Mäkinen and Cancunen, but it didn't change anything in the way I tackled the following races. I wasn't there to collect or count titles. At that time, I was driving because it was my passion, because I loved it. Obviously, I was motivated. I wanted to win. But breaking the record in terms of titles, that wasn't my priority. It didn't influence my way of doing things at all. The 2009 season was pretty busy and quite complicated. Red Bull, a partner back then, offered me a gift following my 2008 title win to go for a Formula 1 test run. I drove on the Barcelona circuit in an official session with other teams and drivers. On the day I drove, I got the 8th best time, and it got me thinking. In the end, Red Bull planned to put me in F1 at the end of the season, at the same time as my rallying. Seeing as the physical requirements for F1 are different, I started doing a lot of sport. I really tried to optimize that side of things. And also, this season hadn't gone as well as others. I'd come off the road. In the next rally, a mechanical failure forced me to give up the race. In the next rally, I got a puncture. The lead I had in the championship was lost all of a sudden, and we found ourselves in a difficult position. So, from that point, we decided, with the agreement of Red Bull, to focus on the rallies, not to mix everything up, to stop with all the sport and exercising and the F1 dreams. We met our main objective and won the title by 1 point. I don't know if all that had anything to do with it, but it felt like a very busy season that year. The 2010 Alsace Rally was one of my most memorable ever. I was back in my region for the first time. The last special was in Haguenau, where I was born. That year, I won the rally, which meant that not only did I get my title, but the manufacturer's title too. And it all happened in my hometown. The podium was in front of the town hall. All my friends and family were around me. It was incredibly emotional, and without a doubt one of my best memories, alongside Corsica, where I'd won the first title of my career.